Good morning. How are you? Well, the spring has reset and we're out in the country and it's gorgeous and beautiful. And you have to wonder of the places you've been in your life that are peaceful and where people are getting along and you're even having fun. And it can be the workplace, it can be a weekend, it can be with family members. Why can't that be true all the time? Look at this place here. Here we have this beautiful setting. A deer ran across this path a few moments ago. A little rabbit, it's a kid's paradise actually. And to the kid in you, the person who still remains connected to nature, this is a marvelous place to be. But those of us who were cliff dwellers in New York, we like to get our schmear and a bagel on a weekend and sit there with the New York Times on a crowded cafe on the street and watch the people go by. There are a lot of ways to be happy and peaceful. And we always have, however, those people who want more, but they want it selfishly. They want power, they want fame, they want sexual experience, apparently bizarre ones going by Gates's pattern. And they don't care who gets in the way, and they don't care what the facts are. There is a single current lie that is at the heart of our most dramatic problems right now, political and otherwise. And the lie is one we've known since November, and it is that we have a former president, a loser, who continues to say he won in defiance of all evidence, courts, legislatures, a whole manner of authoritative sources. And this persists. And this lie is used to say, oh, well, now we got to crack down on how we vote. But who wants to do that? Well, Georgia, Florida, Texas. And we don't just point the finger at them. We mollycoddle, is an old word I haven't thought of in a long time. We mollycoddle the criminals. Too much empathy, not enough warrior. Let's take a look at the prosecutions on the table. We indicted a few more oath keepers, and basically by identifying person one, we say the head of the oath keepers, the President Avi, he is supportive of the insurrection. And they have all sorts of details about what he did. But what about Roger Stone? Why was Roger Stone guarded by these people? What were the communications with the White House during the insurrection when Trump was there? Who tried to stop him? Who on the Hill in the Republican Party discouraged support? If you can give the benefit of the doubt to Republicans for saying we want to look very carefully at this election and basically overthrow the pro forma proceeding of announcing Biden as the president after all of the confirmation process before that point on January the 6th. Okay, let's give them that, although I don't. Why, after the insurrection, do they still vote for it? Because they wanted to encourage it to persist. They want it to happen again. And how is it we can conduct an investigation and arrest 400 people and basically give a lot of them a walk and not hammer at these people to get those who were sympathetic, cooperative, and perhaps even engineered those riots that day, that insurrection that would overthrow our government, that would perhaps kill the vice president and take as a hostage the Speaker of the House? This is not tolerable. And it is at the root of the second drama in America, which is, how do we vote? Because we voted fairly and with difficulty and with machinations by Republicans to do everything they could to limit it by delays in the post office, by all sorts of machinations. They tried to compromise the vote, and still they lost. And it's dramatic to consider that Republican candidates won in states and in districts where Trump lost. If that isn't proof of a fair election, that is, those discordant results, the people could distinguish between a Republican they wanted and a president they wanted to cashier. And so now we have Texas, and you should watch the coverage. It's very interesting. In Texas, Democrats walked out at 10:30 p.m. And because of that, they couldn't vote the most unconstitutional, unlawful restrictions on voting that's been proposed by any legislature and any governor. And they would have passed that had these Democrats not taken the keys to vote with and left the building. So we have one newspaper, the Washington Post, reporting that Democrats are asking the Democrats on the Hill to fix this, to pass S1, the election law bill that passed the House with all Democrats and is now pending in the Senate. And my former client, if you will, when he was in the House, Schumer, he's going to have a vote the end of June. I think it's June the 28th on S1. Well, that's not a real vote if you don't change something. Republicans are not going to compromise their ability to fix the election by this legislation by passing remedies to their unlawful and unconstitutional provisions. And so are we going to pretend that we can be cooperative with people who don't believe in democracy, small d? I don't think so. So what should be the clarion call to all of America? It is get rid of the 60 vote minimum. Do it, and do it now. You know, these people, they go on vacation at the weirdest times. And what are they doing in the district? I mean, does Schumer really think people are changing in the district? You know, sometimes you should just say what's right and what's true and see where it gets you. And we're acting as if Schumer belongs in an alcoholic family, and we don't want to talk about Manchin, the alcoholic. Except in this case, it's not just him having this addiction to bad policy. It is him blocking what is democratic in form and substance by refusing to vote against the 60 vote minimum. And that is a miscarriage of justice. And he will go down in history in ignominy. But if the winners write the history, if we allow this to happen, the same people who would change this from a democracy to an autocracy, they're going to write the story of America. And it's going to be an autocracy. It's going to be controlled by the few of the many who are unrepresented because they were kept from the polls. They were diminished, that there was cheating. And since we don't hold anybody accountable, they'll figure they can do it. What are you going to do? Arrest me? Look, you arrested all those people who demonstrated. You didn't arrest me. Not Hawley, not Cruz, not any of these people. Not Trump, not his family, not Rudy Giuliani. We all know who they are. And nobody's doing anything about it. So, we the people should send one email every day, all of us, to those sinners, to Democratic sinners, to Sinema, who apparently is sort of sitting there in the back bench a little bit, and she's opposed to getting rid of the 60 vote rule. And of course, to Manchin, every day, just send one email and say, well, say what's in your heart and what's in your head, because we don't have enough critical thinking. And the answer is, you either believe in Jim Crow laws or you believe in a real democracy. You either believe in a real democracy or you believe in an autocracy. And you should be ashamed, both of you or any of these people who are against the reforms that I'm talking about, you should be ashamed. You should quit your post because you're not doing your job. So that's my thinking out here in the greenery. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.